What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Doing something a little bit different for you guys today. I'm about to give you the juice, so you don't want to miss this. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. So in my opinion, there's only 3 lures you need to be successful springtime fishing. You got to think about it, guys. There is a crap ton of pressure on the lake right now. Everybody and their brother is out here trying to catch a good one, catch their PB. So that being the case, these bass are seeing a lot of lures and they're getting a lot of pressure on them. So my go-to this time of year is 3 finesse techniques, and I want to share them with you. My number 1 is going to be the shaky head. This lure has put more bass in my boat than any other thing I've fished in forever. And I'm telling you guys, you can take this rig right here anywhere in the country and put fish in the boat. And you can put good fish in the boat with it too. It's not just gonna land you small fish. But let me tell you this, I have several different shaky head styles, and I have several different straight-tailed worms. If I could only have one, it's this guy right here. It's the Zoom Magnum Shaky Head, and the color is watermelon candy. That is my color, and I don't know what it is about that color, but these bass will tear it up. And the Zoom Shaky Head, the Magnum Shaky Head, is actually a 7-inch worm. But what makes it special is that tail just comes down to a point. Where a lot of the other shaky head worms, you come out and they have that bubble tail on them. That being the case, this looks like a smaller presentation, I feel like. If you pull this 7-inch worm out and hold it beside, say, a T-Mac or a Robo worm, this worm is still going to look smaller just because of the tail design. But I promise you guys, you take this Zoom Magnum Shaky Head worm and put it on. My favorite head is the Woo Tungsten 3/16 ounce head. You take this guy and put this worm on this head, and I promise you, you will land some fish. Now, you want to be very target oriented when you throw this lure. You're not going to cover a lot of water with it, so you want to have a good area, whether it be a creek channel swing, pathway to a spawning ground, and you want to target laydowns, brush piles, some sort of cover in that area. So for me, I'm going to fish it pretty much just like I would fish a jig. I'm going to pitch it right in that laydown. I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. I'm not going to move it at all. I'm gonna just slowly drag this thing out of that laydown. Super slow. And every now and then, if I get caught up on something or whatever, I'll give it a couple of shakes. Let it sit. If I don't get a bite, I'll pop it on over that limb or clump of grass or whatever it was stuck on. The main idea is here, you don't want to overwork it. You just want to cast it out, slow drag it back. You don't want to shake it a lot. That worm's going to be doing its thing down there. The worm itself in the water is going to have some action to it. So here's another prime example of something I'm going to target with a shaky head. This is a little flat leading into a spawning bay. And what you have is some different brush piles and laydowns out here. And I'm going to target each and every one of these with the shaky head. There's one right there. So I was saying, guys, you just cast it in there real slow. You don't want to overwork this bait. There you have it, guys. One on a shaky head. I promise you can take this rig right here, that Zoom Magnum shaky head worm, on a 3/16 ounce Woo tungsten head in that watermelon candy color. You can take it anywhere in the country and put fish in the boat. Biggest one I've caught on it so far is a 19 3/4. So this guy is small, but you can catch big ones. And a little pro tip for you, if you're fishing around timber, don't just expose this thing, bury that hook. You want to bury it in the plastic, because if you just expose it around timber, you're going to have a bad day. You're going to be getting snagged up left and right. I prefer to fish that technique on a medium light spinning action rod. This is an X-Pride 610 medium light, and it does a great job with that lighter weight head. Can't beat it, guys. So my number 2 technique. This is the one I'm going to break out when, let's say, I get into submerged grass or something that shaky head just won't come through or will get lost in. That's when I rig up a drop shot. And I've just got like a little 6-inch leader on here. And again, guys, I have a Zoom worm. This is just a plain Zoom finesse worm. And again, the color is watermelon candy. But if you get into submerged grass or something that you just can't get that shaky head through, that's where I pull out the drop shot, and I'll be able to get that, try to get that worm to where it's coming out clean. My weight can be covered in grass, but I want that worm coming out clean. And I'm going to throw it in the same areas at the same type of stuff, laydowns, stumps, brush piles. But if there's grass in the area that I'm having trouble getting that shaky head through, that's where the drop shot comes in. But again, guys, I'm just going to cast it to that piece of cover. The only difference with the drop shot is I want to keep that line tight. I don't want any slack in that line. So the whole time I'm retrieving it, I'm just slow dragging it back. But when I go to take up my slack, I'm real slow about it to make sure I'm maintaining tension on that line and reeling in my slack without moving the lure. If I get it close to where I know it's close to the piece of cover, that's when I'm gonna maybe give it a little action, give it a little shake, just to see if I can coerce them to bite. Gonna try to get one on this drop shot. But I'll fish this on a 7-foot medium. This is actually that Tatula XT I reviewed. And most of the time I've got a 1/4 inch cylinder weight. And 20-pound braid to 10-pound test fluorocarbon. That's pretty much my go-to setup. So there you go, boys. Like I said, boys, you take this drop shot and that shaky head and fish them in all the same places. The only difference is when you have that submerged grass that you can't really get that drop shot through, that's where I switch, or that you can't really get the shaky head through, that's where I pull out the drop shot. And again, it's a small fish. Just got out here. I'm sure I could break all this cover down and eventually come on a better fish. So it'll catch little fish, but it'll catch big fish too. Definitely not my number 2 lure for the springtime. My number 3 is a Wacky Rig Senko. Now I'm not gonna rig one up in this video, but where I pull this out is if I'm fishing docks. If I'm fishing a dock and I'm trying to skip something all the way to the back of a long dock, that's where I'm grabbing for a Senko, so I can really skip that thing and reach all the way to the back end of that dock where most people probably aren't putting their lure. The second place I'm pulling out the Senko is if I'm fishing around a laydown that's just super snaggy, and again, you know, I can't really get my shaky head or my drop shot through there effectively. That's where I'm going to pull out the Senko and target those laydowns that, again, I can't really get my shaky head or drop shot through. And the color is the same thing, guys. It's sprayed grass, watermelon, green pumpkin. Yamamoto, it's color number 297, and it is green pumpkin, green and purple flake. That's all watermelon candy or sprayed grass is. It's a green pumpkin or watermelon with green and purple flake. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it is about that color, but bass love that color. They will wear it out. So I know it's not the most fun ways to fish, but like I said, guys, you got to think. There are a crap ton of people out here trying to catch their PB right now. There's a lot of pressure on the lakes, on the fisheries. I can't tell you how many times I've come behind a boat and watched them not catch a thing, and I've been able to take that little shaky head and pitch it up under a dock and pull out my biggest fish of the day right behind them. So sometimes, guys, it pays to you know, go with those a little bit more finesse style techniques, and you know, especially on those days when nothing else will work. I'm telling you guys, shaky head drop shot with a little leader, 1/4 ounce weight, and that Zoom finesse worm. And then if neither of those two, if you can't fish either of those two through the cover you're trying to fish, Wacky Rig Senko. I hope you guys liked the video. I know I'm not the best teacher, but I wanted to make this video because I've wasted so much money on trying different worms, different plastics, different techniques, and at the end of the day, especially if you're just getting into bass fishing, you can take those 3 techniques anywhere in the country and I guarantee you will put fish in the boat. So it's something I'm really passionate about. It's something I have a lot of confidence in, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and hopefully you can use it and have some awesome days on the water. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.